Do that again. Wait a minute. All right.
Ready? Officially call the August 11th, 2015 Troup City Council meeting to order. The time is 6:32. At this time, I would ask for a volunteer from one of the council people to do the invocation. Here.
Father, we thank you for today. We pray for your blessings and give us wisdom, guidance here, Father. Just watch over us and pray for Nelson and Chip who are away. Watch over them as they travel. And we pray that you would help our mayor to go quickly, Father. In God's name. Amen.
Agenda item number 3 would be the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Agenda item number 4 would be consider approving the minutes of the regularly scheduled meeting of July the 14th, 2015. You have the minutes probably in your agenda packet. They were in your electronic packet for sure. So I would entertain a motion to approve those if there's no errors on them.
So moved.
I'll say,
Motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Agenda item number 5. Citizen comments. Brief comments concerning non-agenda items. Comments on the agenda should be held until called for. Any citizen comments? You guys don't know. Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to agenda item number 6. Agenda item number 6 is to review and consider the city financial report for the month of July 15th. And it is, in fact, in your packet, starting with, I guess, the cash comparison report.
That's right. And this is, as far as you're concerned, I think it's probably the most important piece of paper we've got. And right now, we have $699,605.58 in our working capital account since that's on July 31st. That's an increase of $183,000 from 2014, and a change of $330,000 from 2012. Very close to 90%. So you're getting close to a double. And this was after we paid $30-something thousand on renewable tax.
Which money you found somewhere. Which is money you found somewhere. It wasn't even a line item.
We had some
Right.
And then the balance sheet and the revenue expense report are there. As if there's any questions on any of those, you have the summary version, the detailed version of the revenue expense report is in your electronic packet. If you have any questions on your summary version, I've got the full thing in mind. And everything is fine. We're in good shape. Of course, we're almost done with you. We've got 2 months left, so it's really pretty easy to tell what we are at this point.
No question. Action.
Make a motion we approve the monthly report as shown in our packet.
A second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the city financials as indicated on agenda item number 6. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed by the same sign. The motion passes. And agenda item number 7 will be comments and questions or input to the city manager's written report.
The first thing I'd like for you to add is the police report is there. And if you notice out in front of the city hall today, there's a car with some markings on it that's available for auction. says on here that Chief Henderson is going to be off going to Huntsville on Thursday. That got, there was a stake ready to that situation, so that will not happen on Thursday. There's also a word there about the school lights. From everybody to walk the first week, and they'll start writing big tickets on. So,
Are they on now? Start next week?
Yeah.
What is the fine for a school zone?
Double everything.
Yeah, that's a court question. We don't give a fine.
Unless if they catch.
Hey, the police are no longer accepted.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, not for a school zone.
And if it's one down here, we're under a burn. You can grill outside as long as it's covered,
So your typical gas grills are fine.
or even a charcoal grill. Now, any questions on any of that? The reason I don't put this out early is because I held it to the last minute today, trying to wait to see if they would post the sales tax. But I was not able to hold out on that. Sometimes sometimes on the 11th, they will appear in the afternoon. We're at 83.33% of the budget year. Everything is fine there. When the sales tax payment posts tomorrow, which I feel like is real, I'll see you. The water tower is down. All that's left is when they set the tower in the ground, they tied it to a concrete footing, and then they poured additional concrete over the top of it. So when the guys were taking it down the other day, they could only take it down as far as they could cut with a cutting torch. And so there's these footings that are still there about this high. But the guys went over there with a jackhammer. Our city guys went over with a jackhammer. They knocked all the concrete off, and they took down, they cut it with a cutting torch, the metal plate thing that was left, and they got that gone. But they can't do that anymore because we're in a burning man. So that work is stopped. There in front of you see the belt buckle that came from the tower. It was solid white, covered in layer after layer after layer of white paint.
Looks like it's bronze, maybe.
It's brass. Yeah. And that is the serial number, I'm assuming, off the water tower. And it was put up by the Des Moines Bridge Company. And they bought it. They let the bond in 1955. They put it up in 1955. And Des Moines Bridge and our company is the same company that built the St. Louis Arch. And I'm assuming that 1912 is the serial number and not the year.
Was that just stuck on the outside?
Yeah, it was down there on the northeast corner post.
I'm curious that, I know we've had some slight discussion about this. None of those water towers were reclaimed.
What do you mean by
They weren't military surplus
No.
or something.
No.
Trying to.
No, I heard that same story, but in checking the minutes, I found that was not what this council minutes reflect.
Councilman Hale picked me up and brought me to the meeting. Go through them.
Two of the three items of concern from the TCQ have been completed. Number 12 is, number 2 has been it says the pump, it is the pump as well, number 2 has been replaced. It wasn't an in-ground pump, it was the above-ground pump. And the repaint, and that well is back online. So you may have noticed that the water's not quite as young this week as it was last week. So that's because well, number 2 going online. The above-ground storage tank has been completed. Our other operator, we sent off some of the stuff to Austin. Instead of taking a week for it to come back, it took about 2.5 or 3. We've gotten all that stuff back, so we've resubmitted everything that has to go with that back into Austin. And we're waiting for that to arrive, and we've asked for an extension of the TCQ.
That's John.
That's John. And then, once he gets the stuff back from Austin, he's cleared to take the test. But test on a daily basis down in Nacogdoches, you'll go take the test. And they also give you the results at that time. If the test does not go well, they let you take it again. Let's see, surrounding cities are forming a consortium for the purchase of asphalt for street repairs. They had formed a consortium last year to purchase seal coat. Of course, John and I talked about that, and he said none of our streets really would benefit from seal coat because you need a street in pretty good shape to be able to seal coat it.
And it can't be all sand, it needs.
That's right, that's the asphalt.
100% asphalt.
So anyway, when they did the seal coat last year, they saved about a third of the cost of that. And so if we move into that consortium, you know, I've set aside some money in the budget as I propose to do that. And I'll go over with you when we get to the budget about that. And this, you know, oil prices are down, so if you want to do some asphalt street work, this is probably as good a time as any.
So this would be paving and sealing, or just,
Just buying asphalt.
okay, just purchasing the
Yeah.
material?
And with dry weather, the street department's been mixing some new oil sand. We've got 4 new businesses in Troup: Minnie's Tire Service, Echozyme Systems, Milano's Pizza, and there's 2 ladies that are opening a photography studio.
Danny Houston's.
What is she?
Now, Spinnies were the same place?
It's for TNT.
Yeah. Odd.
Of course, it's the same. Benny was working for TNT.
Yeah.
He opened it up.
Just changed
Okay, there's been some interest in reviving a festival in Troup. So out of the mayor's column the other day, some people said they would like to see a festival back in Troup. So the city's Facebook page, I encourage those who would be interested in that and be willing to serve on a committee for that purpose to let us know. And as of early this afternoon, we've had 2 responses to that. And I understand we've had a few more since I posted up on there that we'd only had 2 responses. Of course, for anything like a festival to be successful, you're going to have some votes.
Right, I had, when the call came to me, I just mentioned to the person that called me that obviously civic organizations are gonna have to, some group of civic people are gonna, and the city's not gonna be able to run it's not gonna be able to run a September Fest or an October Fest or whatever. You know, it's gonna end up being some civic organization probably.
TCDC applies some funds.
You could, sure. Yeah. Of course, funding is not the real issue. Well, most of the time, it's getting our boots on the ground to make it successful. And, you know, the Kiwanis Club sponsored the Troup Fest for years and years. And the main thing that ran into that was that they had such an issue with weather, as I recall, that the weather was uncooperative several years in a row. And that is pretty much killed it off. And also, you have to be careful with scheduling so that you're not in conflict with something else that's been on for 20 or 30 years in some surrounding community. All of a sudden, you're competing with people and things like that. So,
But it is a good concept to think about. I obviously got a call along those same lines from Mrs. Lacey about Billy's mom about an account that exists that's she's reasonably certain was set up originally to hinge around the whole prayer breakfast thing. I think we're investigating, you know, what to do with that and how to maybe make it applicable for the same function year to year. I think it was mostly supported by churches.
yeah.
So that came up. I get phone calls that I didn't used to get now.
One of the situation with that is it got set up as a personal account with only one person that can sign.
Yeah.
So that's kind of limited in some.
Yeah, and the goal, the phone call I got the other day was to put it in my name, and I just said, look, it may need to be slightly different. And
I sent you an email, And I'll be out of the office from Saturday through next Thursday. Not no more. But I'm not difficult to get hold of. And I don't mind got hold of, so it's not an issue. I've been used to being gotten hold of all my life, so.
Do we have any,
Not at midnight this time.
any other questions regarding the city manager's written report? Okay. At this time, we'll move on to agenda item number 8 to discuss and consider the invoice from the Smith County Sheriff's Office for law enforcement dispatching services from October 2014 through September 2015, the amount of $18,892.94. And this is an item, as I recall, would not probably have been on the budget, except it got referred to the city council about a month ago, and Gene felt like the appropriate thing to do was to wait and let the council take action on it. This is, as I understand, the normal prorated part of our dispatching fees, so it's not anything out of the ordinary,
It's in our budget.
except that it got, for some reason, the only city that we could find that it happened to was the city of Troup, and it got sent to all of the council members directly, so you didn't get a copy of it,
You were on the list.
yeah. Yeah.
The email.
So the invoice is here. I guess this was the whole stapled together package.
They may not have my email address.
Okay, so anyway,
Which will send you your true test.
this is the invoice, the 18,892. I would entertain a motion to pay that.
I'll make a motion that we pay the invoice from Smith County Sheriff's Office for $18,892.94 for dispatching services for the past fiscal year.
No.
Well, for the current fiscal year. Well, current, but not, yes, current fiscal year.
I second.
Okay. Motion and a second to approve this invoice. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying
Wait, I
aye.
have,
You do have?
yeah,
Okay.
did we get this changed to where it's supposed to go next time?
We think
We
so.
was- So we were the only city that was
It was
chosen
really-
to receive it this way.
There
All
was-
the other cities got it the same way
So,
they
the
got
way
it.
it's supposed to go.
Yeah, and there were several sort of apologizing emails that were written with regard to
Well, then I also impressed upon the fact that had they sent the invoice as they had in the past, it would already have been.
that. Is there any other discussion on agenda item number 8? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. We'll move on to agenda item number 9. To discuss and consider the Smith County 911 district budget for 2015 through 2016 fiscal year. This is housekeeping primarily.
Well, the state law requires that the Smith County 911 Communications District submit their budget to the County Commissioners Court and all the cities in the district. And Troup is one of the cities in the district, one of the 11. So it has to be submitted to the Troup City Council for either reason.
And it is a balanced budget.
I recommend it.
I make a motion that we accept and approve the 911 district budget.
I second.
We have a motion and a second on agenda item number 9. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. The motion passes. Agenda item number 10, discuss and consider adopting City of Troup tax abatement policy that would be effective from September 13th of 2015 through September 12th of 2017. And this one will require some explanation.
Yeah, Troup has always participated in tax abatements from time to time. And those tax abatements are generally written as a part of Smith County's tax abatements. And they're generally drawn up by the Tyler Economic Development Council, which Tom Hollister. So basically, this is just, it's the same agreement that we've had in past years, it's just time to redone. So
And it's a two-year.
it doesn't obligate us to any abatements, it just says that they'll bring it to them, so present them to us, and we will participate if we choose to.
Well, someone needs to get them up to date. Cheryl Jefferson's.
We, they got email on
So agenda item number 10, we would need to take board action, council action on this.
that. And the way these abatements work, they're reviewed from time to time, and I serve on the committee that reviews those abatements.
We need to make a motion that the city of Troup would adopt the tax abatement policy. Would be effective for 2 years from September 13th, 2015 through September 12th, 2017.
I second that motion.
Motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Same sign. Agenda item number 11, discuss and consider, not on pain medicine, but I would be by the time I get home. Discuss and consider approving the Troup Community Development Corporation budget for the 2015-2016 fiscal year. And will there be a presentation about this?
The budget is on the board there on the screen.
Okay.
And you should, and Buffy has a copy down
Of course, the top shows cash coming in. That's what we have on hand. So we have almost $400,000 available. Then below it are the planned expenditures for this coming fiscal year, including the water line that we picked up this school. And not that water line, the one at the school. And we'll have one more payment on that next fiscal year. And then it leaves a balance to be dispersed as we vote on for $337,000. We're paying our land purchase quarterly, so we mortgage that out. So
Over what period of time?
10 years.
That's the payment of government capital.
Yeah, government capital. So, well, it got moved south side of the line. So we can change that.
All right.
Any questions, I'll be glad.
And that would be agenda item number 11, so we would entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the TDC-BC budget for 2015-2016.
A second motion.
A motion and a second. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion passes. I'm not sure if you usually vote on it as chairman.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. Agenda item number 12. Discuss and consider a TCDC project to assist in providing affordable housing in Troup. A project to approve a loan to TRM Senior Apartments Limited Partnership in the amount of $10,800 with a term of 5 years and an interest rate no greater than 5%.
You can change that to 3%.
Okay. 3%. Contingent upon the TRM Senior Apartments LP application receiving an award for affordable housing tax credits from the Department of Housing and Community Affairs in compliance with TDHCA QAP requirements found in section 11.9 subsection D2. Is that That's,
Y'all know what it means?
yes.
There's a story behind this, but not a bad one. They want, the company that owns these apartments, the senior apartments in the far corner of Athena and Wilkins over there, they are applying to the state of Texas for a grant to fix those. And they would spend up to $36,000 per unit, all 4 units, so it's pretty substantial. It's over $1 million deal. And to help them get this grant from the state of Texas, they have to have, it helps them, they get points if the city that they're in says, yes, we'll help you, just whatever way we can. So TCDC owns the land surrounding it. We had discussed giving them an acre, but then came up in our meeting that we could just, a loan, if you want to offer them a loan, it's the same amount of points as far as the state sees. So we decided, rather than give up any land, we could, if they need a loan to help them do this, we'd be glad to fund that loan. Just to show, it's like a sign of faith from the city that we're going to help them all we can with their project. So they've applied, and it's tied in with Ruskin Mount Pleasant, so we're hoping they'll get this grant from the state. It was looking good a month ago, as far as I know, but until they get it, I guess you don't know.
Well, the other thing he pointed out, he said they had, anytime the loans had been made to them like that, they had never, they had always paid the loans off early. Generally, about the time the construction was completed, then a month or so after that, they went in and paid.
So this agenda item is very contingent on several things.
That's right.
Yes.
Does it still require?
Yeah, it does, because it's a project with TCDC, so it requires our approval. They had their public hearing, they had their public hearing today.
Okay.
And since it's under $20,000, they don't want to require one approval from the council.
Okay, you are asking the council's
Approval of us offering a loan.
Okay. So we would entertain a motion then to approve agenda item number 12. And I can't make that motion.
I make a motion that we approve TCDC project to assist providing affordable housing in Troup. Project to approve the TRP Senior Citizens Apartment LP and a loan in the amount of $10,800 with a limit of 3% maximum interest rate for 5 years.
I second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion passes. Move on to agenda item number 13. Discuss and consider approving the Cameron J. Jarvis Municipal Library budget for the 2015-2016 fiscal year. It's also somewhat housekeeping item.
Yeah, that's right. This is their budget that they submitted to us. Their budget has no effect on the city's budget whatsoever, even though it appears as a part of our budget.
It's in and out.
In and out. The only thing that comes up from us is the $15,000, and that's been there for a long time. So it has zero impact on the city budget, but it does require our. What I do is I just plug it whenever this is. In fact, I've already got it plugged into the budget because I sent it through.
Right.
So
I make a motion that we approve the Cameron J. Jarvis Municipal Libraries budget. Because it's coming in.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. And that motion passes. We will move on now to agenda item number 14, where we will have a preliminary discussion on the 2015-2016 city Troup budget.
remember, did everybody get the tax rate scenarios that I emailed to you earlier this week? And those are on the back side of this. And as you go to prepare a budget, of course, the last month was the preliminary budget. And we couldn't really work on that too much until I had the numbers for the certified values for Smith and Cherokee County. And also, until we get the certified values, they can't calculate the effective tax rates and that sort of thing. So that's basically what I sent to you when I sent you the scenarios the other day. And this budget that I've got prepared, by September the 1st, we have to post a notice in the newspaper that says what our maximum tax rate that we might enact is going to be. You can, when you publish that notice, you can enact a tax rate up to that notice amount, or you can go below, but you can't be above that September the 1st, which is something new the last 2 years. So what I did was, I have set the budget, this budget that I've got prepared for you right now, at exactly the same tax rate that we had this year. And when we do that, let me go through the budget with you, and let me kind of go over the items. If you see this little line right here, it says the general fund budget is in balance right now, about $1,400, which means there's $1,400 more in income than there is expenses in this budget, in the general fund. Okay. This tax amount is at the 2014 rate, which is this year's tax rate, which is 92.154. That's it, right? I increased the franchise tax a little bit because I anticipate that at some point this next budget year, we may have a new franchise tax. Because there's too many lines hanging on poles for them not just start taking. And if I didn't notate it, it means that there's not much of a change in any of it. If you, the school resource officer, we changed school resource officers, and that officer costs us much less. Remember last year was about $45,000 reimbursement that we got from TISD. Well, this year it's about $10,000 less than that. That's because the officer is less expensive than the officer we had working that position. So the total income in this budget is up 1.15% from this past year.
And for discussion purposes, as noted on the top of this piece of paper, that is using the exact tax rate.
The exact same tax rate.
So although we did lower the tax rate, we did not increase the tax rate.
Yeah, technically, because of the way the state of Texas figures stuff, it's going to be called a tax rate.
It's going to be called an increase because our property values.
Have gone up. Not only that, but it's larger than our effective tax rate. And this, we're not alone in doing this year. The city of Tyler is doing exactly the same thing. And they're setting their tax rate exactly where it was last year. And that raises for them an additional $670,000. So, and the Smith County is doing the same thing. It raises Smith County's tax revenue by $1.8 million.
And you may have said it, but what do you feel like it raises?
Well,
60.
yeah.
Is that right?
It raises the tax on the average homeowner pays $673.26. That's $21.69 more a year, or $1.81. And it's a net increase of 3.62%, which your rollback rate is at 8%, so it's well below that. And of this month, see, it raises $19,000 more.
19,000.
Okay. But the $6,670 that is for new property. There's $800,000 worth of new property. So if you take out 19 minus the 6, you're actually raising $12,000 from the 60 property. Does that make, it all gets kind of confusing. I really have to stop and think.
It is, yeah, I'm a simple-minded guy, too, so it's real.
Well, I had to go through it about 4 times before I
So it's $800,000 in new property?
That's right. 875,000 some odd dollars.
And that's new construction or new.
Or
businesses
additions
or-
or,
Right.
I assume most of it was your house.
There he is, my pizza place.
Yeah,
It's a combination.
Uh,
I was gonna ask you where is it?
I don't know. All I know is the numbers they give. They do not identify where it
Well, we need to.
Some new rent houses off
New rent houses? Where?
Beulah and Mill.
So let's look at the expense side of the general fund real quick. In administration, you remember we adjusted a couple salaries in administration. And even after we did that, we've still got a 4.1% decrease in the salaries we budgeted from this year. And the main reason for that is we eliminated the clerk position, which is part-time. On your budget, your printed budget, your number's not gonna read the same as this one, because I printed this number earlier today. Cherokee County finally sent me an email at 4:30 that said what their amount is going to be. And so this is the real amount for that item. And, this item in our general fund is gonna increase by 4.57%. The expenditure here is for the, largely for the, we're going to paint the inside of the post office. Remember, that's part of our rental agreement with this. Technology's reduced by 23% from this past year. The emergency warning list system, it may change. I am trying to get, right now, to set off the emergency warning system, we have to contact the Smith County Sheriff's Office, which results in sometimes delays in getting that done. So we're working on getting software set up where we can do that from here. That's what we choose. It also gives us some better options on testing the system and that sort of thing. And so I budgeted a little bit of money, I budgeted $1,000 in there right now for that, or $1,100, and that may change. So we'll have to wait and see on that. Our risk insurance for this department was up considerably this year. It was $3,215 last year, and when we allocated it out for this year, it came out at $6,700. Last year, we amended the election costs from the budget, so that's how we filed for them back in this year. We don't have an election where we save $5,800. This number changes with this is the payment to CCDC. And this number changes with our sales tax collection. And this is actually a good thing if this number goes over budget, because it means that you collected more sales tax revenues. That's a third split. So if the TCDC's amount's gone up, that means the city got 2/3 of that. So that's a good thing. And so the total of those items in that category of operating expenses has increased 6.79% for the year. And total expenses in administration increased 14% from 2014 to 2000. Street employees, that's salary amount, the employee cost increased by 1.59%, and that's because of increased insurance costs and increased TMRS costs. I funded TMRS this year at the full amount, which the city's never done before. Which the full amount this year is 5.62%. Okay, here's where I made the big change. Street repairs, we budgeted $30,000 last year. I'm proposing we increase that by 75%, $52,500 in streets this year. You remember that goes back to the consortium thing I'm talking about. I think we've got an opportunity here while oil prices are low, perhaps do more street work than we could do. So that's the main reason that I left the tax rate where it was, to try to generate some additional revenue in streets. And so the entire street budget increased by 12.44%. Police salaries. Police salaries are down 2.46%. And police budget, that's a lot. That's almost $12,500. And the main reason for that is there are some officers that are this year, it's included in this, are getting their step raises. But the main reason those costs are down is because one of our employees retired, and their health insurance cost was, their salary was expensive and their health insurance cost was expensive. So that means after everything washed out, that even though there's raises and things in here for step raises for the staff, that budget went down by 2.46%. The fuel, I decreased that by 30% from last year. Fuel stays, and there doesn't seem to be any move on fuel costs are apparently just going down. And I don't see any reason they're probably going to, unless something really strange happens in the next 12 months, that they're going to increase by a lot. If Iran goes back to selling oil, there's going to be more oil in the market then than there is now. Okay, and operating expenses for the police department is down 6.18%. The entire police budget is down almost 3% from last year, which is not $19,000. Ambulance subscriptions. Ambulance subscriptions are up for some reason, so I budgeted that at 8%. Parks employee, that's up 3.1%. Again, that's because there's no adjustment in the pay scale there, it's just an increase in insurance and PRS costs. Operating expenses are down 20.4% in that department, and that there again, that most of that cost is because. So that entire department's down 1.56%. Here's our animal control. The animal control officer, his cost is split half and half with sewer. So that department that cost is down 44% this year. That's because we changed the way we split that cost. The total operating expenses are down 28%. There again, that's because of fuel. In the general fund, we've had a 1.15% increase in revenue and a 1.19% increase in expenses, but we're still $1,400 to the good. Okay. And here, then this is the library, as we talked about a while ago, that's a wash, so we're easily going through that. Remember I talked to you that our water usage is down, so we're scheduled for a 5% rate increase according to our rate study. So I have included that rate increase in this budget.
When would that need to be?
So we'll do that. We'll do that. We'll actually, if you want, we'll do the ordinance next month and go into effect the 1st of October. And so this, as you can tell, even with the increase, we're still going to be budgeting less money than the income. Because see, this is where we're going to end up the year, somewhere around, depending on what the month of. If I base it on where we were with the August billings, we only have one more billing to come out. It looks like we're going to take in about $357,000 or $58,000 if August and September are dry months. So that still puts us below where we budgeted last year. And the same thing on sewer, because sewer is based on water. And, our total, revenue, I projected 2.54% decrease from 2014 to 2015. And of course, what happens if I take and, see this little number right here? If I take and change this to where I think their budget is going to end up this year, you can see what happens. $56,000 underwater. And see, we're not unique in that. The big, I was at city manager meeting the other day. City manager, they got to talk about budgeting, water, sewer, that kind of thing. Henderson's getting ready to have to raise rates because they've been pulling money from their reserves for 4 or 5 years. So they've got a new city manager, and he says, well, we can't continue to do this. And there were, there were several cities that had been doing that, and there were some big concerns in those cities. And of course, Troup is an expensive city to operate a sewer system in, and the primary reason for that is there's not, Troup probably has as many lift stations as Tyler. Troup has 8 lift stations, that's a huge amount of money. See, what was that? Pull that number off.
You said we got 80? 80?
We got 8.
8.
What's your actual account line item?
That is 400,127.
So,
I usually they like
310,000.
310,000.
so many cities are doing the water rate.
Yeah, well, Tyler's already done it.
I knew they had.
Yeah. Winsboro's already done it. And I'm gonna get, before we talk about the ordinance section, I will pull the water rates from there. Did you see what I sent you from TML the other day that showed you the average water and sewer rates for cities of our size? Troup is actually under average on water and was above average on sewer. But there again,
We have 8 lift stations.
we have 8 lift stations. That's right. Lift stations are very expensive to operate. They cost electricity. Every one of those lift stations has 2 pumps in them. Those pumps cost about, we have to replace one of them about $8,000 to $10,000. Because they're pumps that are underneath. They're sitting in liquid all the time. So they have to be something. So, and of course, we have not increased water and sewer rates since 2012. It's been 3 years. So there's a 2.54% decrease in income, and
It will probably be discussed when we adopt that rate.
yeah,
There'll be some people that will want to discuss it.
sure, and I don't have a problem.
Is our reason that we have so many lift stations, is that our topography, whatever,
Yeah.
how we live?
Who only runs down the
Yeah, it only
Yeah, I
goes
know.
downhill. So if it's downhill from the sewer, if it's downhill from a line, it has to be pumped up for it to correct.
Well, I mean, that's,
And so consequently, that's where they all ended up over the years.
For example, ask Russ, we bought a container from them and said, how many lift stations you got down in one?
in Russ,
Still is it is.
Mm-hmm.
Still is it.
Their sewer system must be at the bottom.
You know, it is.
That's one end.
Yeah.
They're lifting from that other dip in town over the top of the hill to that other end, and they're treating sewer on that end, on the
And
Jackson.
of course, part of it is contributed by the fact is that Troup has always added on to their sewer system a little bit at a time. So there's never been an overall study of how's the best way to get here. But the most efficient way to get this, when you're adding 5 or 10 houses at a time somewhere, you just plop in another lift station. And there you are. And so, in water, I'm showing a decreases in the expenses. And in sewer, there's a decrease in that expense. There's a little increase in the supplies. And on your copy, it's showing $25,000 in professional services. I've reduced that to $19,000. And your total operating expenses in sewer are cut by 10.92%. And so our revenue in sewer, water, and sewer utility fund is reduced by 2.54%, and our expenses are reduced by 2.43%. So this was our budget for this year, this is our budget for next year, this is our budget for expenses for last this year, this is our budget for the new year. So the argument is going to be that, well, you need to reduce expenses instead of raising rates. Well, basically, we've done that. But the truth of the matter is that water usage is down. That's right. It's all about it.
I think we'll have a big month this month, based on our house. But it won't be
Any questions on any of this?
Do we require action on the?
No, we don't require action on
We will
this, but
on agenda item 15, right?
yes, there's no action required on this.
So just so remind me again, you said that the increase per household is
On the tax rate
$21, did you say?
for the year.
Per year?
That's on the average house.
What'd you
Just
say,
even when you
$1.85 a month,
what, $1.89, $1.81.
$1.81 a month.
And what would it, and if we stay with the effective rate,
Yeah,
it
Hang
would-
on just a second, I'll put that in.
effective rate would be identical to last year, right?
Well, but you get to figure in your growth.
You got the 800,000 of additional
Oh, yeah.
value.
So let me just copy this number right here. And then I'll go back over here and I'll paste it in. Now this just applies in the general fund, has no effect whatsoever in the water and sewer. So I'm gonna paste that number right here. I'm gonna put this number over here.
So you can go back to it.
Yeah, I can go back to it. And you see what happens there.
I can't read it.
We're $17,000 out of balance.
By going to
Yeah.
the effective rate, we are out of balance by
I've got to cut
$17,000.
$17,000. And the easiest place to cut that from is streets.
And that would be, that
That'd
would
be
roll it
about the
back.
same.
That would take the rate back to exactly what it was in the per household. 20, whatever it is,
Less than
minus
$21.
$21. Okay. Just asking questions.
Yeah, no.
That way you have a good argument, hey, you want better streets?
Well, that's my point. I think what I'm thinking is, if we're gonna take an increase, and we may not have anybody that complies.
Well, the water
And-
thing
and
is
the-
different from this too.
Right. But if we take an increase, and we currently are in pretty good shape financially, if anybody's really studying that and watching it, they're gonna say, why are you taking an increase if, y'all have moved, the city has moved in a very positive direction from a financial standpoint, why would you need to take any increase? Let's not have an increase for once. Well,
But we haven't had an
all-
increase.
Right. But all we, I mean, we just have to, it's $21 per household and
Well, no, that's average household.
per average household.
That means if your value of your house is less than
Right.
that, you're gonna pay less than that.
Right.
And if your average of your house is more than that, you're gonna pay more than that.
So, all I'm saying, I guess my point is that we should be able to, at the end of 2016, show where there's been some benefit to that. To that $21 per average household. And I think we can.
Like, you know, Kevin, all the time, he makes the argument, you know, saying, why is it so bad to raise taxes just to improve your quality of life? But, you know, everybody just freaks out, you know.
Well, and actually, most people, since we're not actually raising the rate, most people are not even gonna,
I think, but
Just hit the post.
it
Yeah,
could happen.
but they still
The
don't.
water's been mentioned to me, by, a couple of people, just, yeah, I heard y'all were gonna raise water rates, you know, kind of deal, but it wasn't some threatening thing, like, don't you do it, or something like that, it was just somebody saying, you know,
Well, in
we
most,
know what you're doing, and it's like, yeah, it's public, you know, it's all open meetings, you know everything we're doing.
well, and not only that, but we get fussed at every month because people said we've raised the rates. But the problem people have with water is that unlike when they go to the gas station and they fill up their car, they understand that every time they go and fill up their car, that it's not the same amount as it was last time, even if the price is the same, because the price can be identical, but they filled up with more gallons of gas, so it costs more. But for some reason, they do not make the connection with water. They do not understand that water is charged by usage. And most folks think that the folks that complain, I think Buffy will agree, they just assume we kind of pluck a number out of the air and send them a bill for that.
And
I don't ever see-
Did the bill change, just, please, this is a crazy question, it may not really be the right time to ask it, but did the structure of the bill change a little bit? No?
It's still the same bill we've been.
I just this month, which I actually woke up yesterday morning, went, oh crap, it's the 10th. And I got it late. I paid it that morning, and dropped it in the box. But when I went to look at it, I thought, that looks different. And I don't know. Well, I don't know what.
No, it's the same form we've used
Keep
since
the
I.
same ones
Okay.
for the next 9 years.
Change the printer.
Yeah.
We did get a new printer.
I'm smarter than you think.
I got new ink. No, they're pre-printed, and then when we print the bills.
That's probably what it was just maybe just the font or something looked a little different to me. I don't.
Well, no, the software says the font.
Okay.
Okay. If that's, the last of the discussion on agenda item number, 14, then we'll move on to agenda item number 15, and discuss and consider allowing the city manager to publish the notice of the 2015 tax year proposed property tax rate in the newspaper. And that would require action.
Yeah, hang on just a second, let me pull that up, I'll show you what that was.
Yeah, we already know it's coming. Is it just gonna be in the Troup County? It just has to be in the Tri-County leader.
Maybe I don't have it. Yep. Do you have a
I
copy?
passed it out.
Did you?
Do you need one?
Oh, no, I have one. I just thought I had it, on the.
This one right here,
This is
Gene?
what we do.
Yes, it's one that says notice of
We all got
2015
we all
tax
got
year property. Okay. This is the notice that that we have to publish in the newspaper by September the 1st. And like I said, what has to be in this notice is the highest possible tax rate that you're going to set. You can set any number you want to below this one. But this has to be published by the 1st of September, and you can't set a rate higher.
I love this because they're gonna say, oh, well,
It's
It'll say what?
Yeah, I mean, it is in fact the same rate. The effective rate is what really.
It's probably opposite.
Okay, so in order for Gene to publish this, we're gonna need to take board council action.
I will make a motion that we allow the city manager to publish the notice of the 2015 tax year proposed property tax rate in the newspaper.
And you also need to put in that motion that stating that the first hearing will be on September the 8th and the second, see down there at the bottom of that thing.
Oh, down here. All right. Plus the fact that it should also say in the notice in the newspaper that the first hearing is September the 8th, 2015 at 6:30 p.m. at the Cameron J. Jarvis Street Municipal Library. And the second hearing will be September the 15th, 2015 at 6:30 p.m. at the Cameron J. Jarvis Street Municipal Library.
Now, that's September the 8th, that's our regular council meeting. And September the 15th.
Okay, so that's, we have that in the form of a motion before we entertain the second. Those dates are not specific to agenda item 16.
Yeah, they can be, we just need to go,
So we're really taking care of agenda item 16. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Do we need a quorum at that meeting?
yes.
Because I will not be here on September 8th, just so you know.
And Carol will not be here.
On September the 8th.
So that,
So I'm glad I mentioned
so that, we can't have a public hearing without.
Carol said she said it first.
it. Okay, Carol. And don't change anything.
Council will be here next month.
Is there any other date that y'all?
I will actually be out of town from that. I fly out of Dallas that morning and return on the Sunday afterwards. So I'll be gone all week. And Monday will be continuous if Monday's like that's right.
What about you, Carol? Are you out every day?
No, just that one day.
Okay, so we could have a meeting on another,
During that
He'll be
week,
here.
yes.
Nelson said he would be here. So.
would be here September 8th.
We just need Nelson and Chip to be here.
That's
right. It's a non-issue.
Oh,
So I'd say we leave it like it is.
Okay, all right.
Leave the motion like it is, and let's put the monkey on our backs and make sure that we have a quorum. And you guys will be lucky enough to miss that first public hearing meeting.
Of course, that's a regular schedule.
Okay, I currently have a motion on agenda item number 16 without a second.
I'll second
We have a motion and a second on agenda item number 16. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. It passes. Agenda item number 17. I really
All we have to
take
do.
action on agenda item 15.
Well, the only thing is we need to establish the date that we're going to vote on the tax rate and adopt the budget. And, because we've already covered the other 2 days.
Would that be 16?
That would be 16.
So we really just passed this agenda item 15. That was a motion on agenda item 15. We will now discuss the date for
Approving the budget and setting the tax rate.
the actual budget approval date and setting up the rate.
See, there's notices that have to be published in the newspaper.
And what date are you asking for?
September the 22nd.
All right.
And the reason I'm asking for that date is if we get any kind of wobbles on one of the other.
It gives us a little time.
It gives, we have to have it done by the 29th. To comply with Texas law. So that gives us a week to straighten out anything. If we end up with a meeting without a quorum or something like that, it gives us full time to work that out.
I make a motion that we set the date to set the tax rate for September the 22nd, 2015.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any additional
As
discussion?
you include adopting the budget and setting the tax rate.
No,
Can it be adopted?
adopt. adopt.
adopt,
the budget and set the tax rate.
To adopt the budget and set the tax rate on September 22nd, 2015.
That's correct.
I'll second that.
okay, so the motion was to adopt the budget and set the tax rate by September 22nd, 2015. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Uh,
Opposed, same sign, and that motion passes.
And if you look under 16, there's another notice that's going up here about. And we needed to take a record vote on that. But you have all the people that voted for it. Everybody voted for it.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so agenda item number 17, we did already? That's the interlocal agreement with Smith County. Okay, so on agenda item number 17, we're going to discuss and consider entering into an interlocal agreement with Smith County for street repairs.
This is the Ross Street repairs. If you remember, we agreed to buy the materials, and Smith County indicated to us they probably wouldn't charge us for putting it down, but that's changed. They're going to charge us for putting it down, so it's going to cost about $6,000 additional. But I had John review in this document is their charges for compensating them for their men and their machine, and he said this is about half the price it would be to have it right. So I recommend it
So we're gonna get a new street for what's the total?
for less than $40,000. And Lynn Energy's paying $14,000.
It's a pretty long street, right?
Yeah,
Well, it's 5 points.
2,300 feet, 16 feet wide.
And Lynn, I mean, we know Lynn's gonna, not that it really makes a difference, but we know they're gonna come with money.
Yeah, they've already voted on it. They're gonna have 7 wells, they're gonna pay us $2,000 for
Okay.
Okay, on agenda item number 17, and I would entertain a motion to enter into the interlocal agreement.
I'll make a motion that we enter into the interlocal agreement for Ross Street between Troup and Smith County.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any additional discussion on these? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. And motion passes. Comments from the city council, mayor, city manager concerning items of interest for future agenda. I would refer to the Tyler Builders publication that you get each month and remind you that we are one of the cities that, I mean, last year I think we haven't been well represented at this thing, and we have most of the elected, or usually representation from most of the county commission people, from the state representatives and from our Senate districts. They're almost always represented there, so it would be great if you guys would maybe, yeah, it's at lunch. It's basically blue jeans and shorts or whatever you want to wear.
What they do.
But it'd be nice, you know, it'd be nice for me if Troup was, you know, you guys ready to be there.
What is it?
It is the 20th, next Thursday,
Well, next Thursday.
a week from,
I'll be in Washington.
okay, but, you know, it'd be nice if we could have.
I'll be there, Joe.
Okay.
I'll be.
And there's some reason David can come too.
Okay.
You know, I
So
mean,
he's
just,
on that.
Yeah.
That-
okay, so any additional discussion about, non-agenda items?
Just, to clarify, the project that we did, removing the sewer line from the city, from the school, water line from the school, it's done. And did they cover as much ground with concrete that, as they originally intended? That's where they intended to stop, was right there about the ag barn?
Yeah, they're gonna stop when their money ran. That was as far as they could do that.
Okay. And so, did they dig up the water line past there, or is that where the water lines stop?
We just completely cut that water line off.
Some red grass.
Okay, so they just cut the water line and moved it over.
Well, yeah, well, they built a new water line and then they valved off the whole thing.
Right.
And does and if I'm understanding your question correctly, does the new water line go beyond the new paving?
Oh, yeah, it goes all the way down to the fire hydrant.
Okay.
Okay, so we,
Is that what
we
you-
agreed to pay for, they actually did, and
Oh,
we didn't
you're
get.
saying.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that they didn't.
Short.
No,
No,
Charge us
There's,
full
no,
price.
there's an entirely new line all the way to
This is
there.
the last one.
I should know that, I go down there probably more than.
Well, of course, what they did was
Place on the end of the
They
street.
bored under a lot of that, so you didn't even see that.
Right.
But the last fire hydrant down there at the middle school is all new water line.
That's right.
And secondly, I think I ask this question every year, I know I asked it probably last year, this came in the mail today. It's not, if anybody asks about it, it's not necessary that we do anything, we're already members.
If you have it on your water.
It's on the water. That would specially printed new ink.
Yeah.
It stood out.
There are people that ask that it be waived.
They do, okay.
Any other discussion? I join this meeting of the Troup City Council meeting on August 11th at 7:43 p.m.